It's good. Scandal from the gutter. So, to the people that are, your main rebuttal, is Kamala wouldn't have done any better. Is that the best y'all can come up with? At this point, y'all struggling. Y'all really because y'all know y'all been sold a dream. You're realizing it. Now, some of y'all, you're gonna be all right. You got a nice little savings account, so yeah, you can afford to pop up here, and with these asinine talking points. But I don't think Kamala could do much worse, you know. And like I said, I know I'm not the most educated person, but a few points. Did y'all know the stock market is down 900 points? Yeah, 900 points. Debt is currently 37 trillion. 600 billion. 600, that's B. 600 billion has been added on to the national debt in 6 months. He's isolated our trade partners, with his tariff wars. That's why when you go to the grocery store, you buy a pack of bologna and some bread, and that's about $75 right now. Let me see. What else? Bankruptcies, they up 24%. I mean, they skyrocketing. Agricultural industry in the toilet. And yeah, the migration issue is a complex one. But all that said, that's why, you know, you see all these white folks out here protesting. So when y'all say that Kamala would have been worse, I'll have to disagree. You know, that's debatable, highly. So at this point, I think what he wants to do is tank the economy. You know, which he's doing a good job at that. You know, excellent job at that. Tank the economy. You know, because there are corporations closing down, small businesses are done. I told y'all he wants an oligarchy, a monopoly. So I believe he wants to crash the economy so him and his rich cronies can swoop in, buy everything on the low low, and make it an oligarchy, you know. So you've been sold a dream, you know. One of his main now he followed through with the immigration thing. Yeah, you know. And you always, with your pom poms, yeah, but the economy, on the other hand. So, but like I said, to the people who are, well off, wealthy, you know, even the middle class is starting to feel it. But as far as poor America and poor white America, largely, you know, they raising hell. They're not happy. Actually, I've seen a lot of commentators. They are saying they regret voting for Trump. So I mean, y'all, y'all, nah, y'all sound crazy to yourself. You know you do. Stop it. This country is going in the shitter, and Trump is in the driver's seat. You know, driving the shit right off the economic cliff. You're a dictator. So when y'all say, we'd have been worse off with Kamala, I don't know about that one. But like I said, man, y'all got y'all wish. As far as the immigration thing, and like, I really believe they did think black folks was going in them fields, to save y'all. The agricultural industry, that is, because that's in the shitter too, so, I mean, bankruptcies up, prices of everything, you know, up, you know, paycheck, what's your paycheck looking like though, you know, It ain't hitting, is it? But racism is expensive. It really is. So you know, black folks, we'll be all right. You know, you talking about a race of people that I mean, push come to shove. I mean, you remember back in the days we used to have to eat chitlins, things of that nature. We find a way. I ain't, on the chitlins, but what I'm saying is we gonna weather the storm like we been doing. You know, well-to-do black folks, be careful. Watch yourself. At your place of employment, your own businesses, you're gonna be targeted. It's not fear mongering. It's because you got a lot of white folks out here that's messed up, man. They messed up and they are feeling the pressure. And you know what happens when, white folks in this country, you know, when they stomach start touching their ribs and they looking around and they see black folks, they all right. Like, yeah, it don't seem to be, we don't see the same energy coming from the black folks. Why ain't they out here? Like I said, it's just another rainy season for us. You know, we get by, you know. So, like I said, on the other hand, because don't make no mistakes, okay? When him talking about cut and snap, you know, I think he really, you know, was targeting black folks and the minority population, you know. But at the same time, like I said, he does not care about you poor white folks. And I don't say that out of hatred. It's the facts. You see that with his policies, you know. 1 million jobs lost so far this year. Over 1 million jobs. I hear the unemployment rate in Washington is up 6%. So the working class, you know, that's who gonna feel it. That's who is feeling it. The hell you think they out there protesting for? You think they don't care if he's really see himself as a dictator? They don't care as long as they pockets right. I told y'all that. When they belly's full, could deal with a lot of things, you know. But like I said, when them stomachs get to touching them ribs. So welcome to fascism. It's gonna be oligarchy, you know. But as I said, man, we'll get by like we always have. But y'all been sold a dream, you know. That's why you see, the only thing y'all have to hold on to really at this point is racism. That's the only comfort that y'all can receive. Hating others, namely black folks. That give y'all some source of, comfort because I know y'all feeling it. So y'all can keep jumping up here talking about, Kamala this and Kamala that. We ain't talking about Kamala. We talking about your dictator, your king, you know. And as I said, he does not care about poor white folks any more than he cares about FBAs or immigrants or anyone else. He doesn't. So, y'all can be mad at us, but that's y'all play anyway. When things go in the shitter, y'all look for us. Y'all, so you're gonna see all type of and they have skyrocketed the racism that is, you know. So why y'all talking about black folks showing their true face? Nah, it's y'all. But we were never fooled. We always knew y'all for what y'all were, you know. So like I said, man, if you black in this country and you doing well, you driving a nice vehicle, you got money to spend, be careful. Live your best life, but at the same time, be on guard at all times, because they on the lookout, you know. So, if y'all think things are, bad now, Just give it a year or so. Remember, he told y'all when he got in office, he was, you know, from an economic standpoint, you know, y'all was gonna have money to burn. You know, y'all was gonna be living so much better. But it was all a lie. You're slaves. That's what you are. Slaves to corporations. Actually, we all are. You know, but I think white folks is just starting to dawn on y'all. You know, and y'all starting to get it now. He does not care about you. That's all to it. So, you could be mad at us, you know. You know, that's your default setting. But make no mistakes, man. It's your king, you know. It's your king. At the end of the day, y'all need to be pointing the finger at. And it is what it is. No ops left, Scano. You already know.